All right, Buck, we're back with our first story. Is from CNN.com. A South Carolina man died from a heart problem while burying the woman he strangled. Karma! A 60-year-old man strangled a woman and tried to bury her in the backyard of a South Carolina home, but had a cardiac event in the process of covering the pit and died. This is all according to a news release from the Edgefield County Sheriff's Office. Deputies responded to the home in Trenton on Saturday morning for calls of an unresponsive man lying in his yard. Deputies identified that Joseph McKinnon, who had no signs of trauma and natural causes were suspected. As deputies notified the next of kin, a second body was found in the freshly dug pit. Officials identified those remains of Patricia Dent, 65, who also lived at the home. Dent appeared to have died by foul play, the release said. An investigation led deputies to believe that McKinnon attacked Dent inside the home. Deputies said that McKinnon then bound and wrapped her in trash bags before putting her in the previously dug pit in the yard. While he was covering the pit, McKinnon had a cardiac event that caused his death. The Edgefield County Coroner's Office ruled McKinnon's cause of death to be natural causes. Dent's death was due to strangulation. Trent is about 25 miles north of Augusta, Georgia.
Wow. Wow. Wowza, wowza, wowza.
I mean, karma at its finest. I mean, really.
Karma deals justice indiscriminately among the masses.
This article was actually put in our group chat by Sadar, and immediately after was Felt Face Randy going, "Karma!" I just couldn't help myself. So,
oh man,
how do you feel if you're the EMTs? You show up on the scene, you're like, oh yeah, he's dead. Okay, hey, look, what's all those trash bags on the ground? Is that a foot?
Yeah. I never did EMT work, man. Like what would your reaction? You have prior EMT experience, dude. Like
I still am
what
an
would
EMT.
you well, but you know what I mean. Like the thing is what would your gut reaction be responding to that accident?
If you want the dead honest truth, it probably wouldn't be something you'd want to see. And I say that because EMTs tend to have dark humor. It's a coping mechanism because you see some of the most heinous stuff that most people would be traumatized to see, and you end up making jokes a lot of times, and it sounds horrible. You hear about lawsuits, everyone, this person being uncaring and everything like that. It's not that. It's just that if they wore their heart on their sleeve, they would have an emotional breakdown. It's some of the stuff that you witness as an EMT are things you'll carry with you for the rest of your life. I'm not going to tell any of those stories right now because there is some of them that I still to this day am very disturbed by. At the same time, I've come home from people that I've known aspirating on chili after having after ODing and went right back to bed and slept like a baby. It's a weird thing. So if I came up on the scene like that, I'd be like, okay, well let's this guy's dead. Let's go ahead and call medical command so we don't have to transport or anything like that and get a coroner out here. Cool, we don't have to do paperwork. This is awesome. Oh shit, what's that? Then I'd be more mad that now I have to fill out paperwork and be the part of the investigation and possibly have to testify in court because it's a crime scene.
So your reaction would be like foiled.
I'd probably be like, fuck.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I get that though, man. Like, we've responded to things inside the jail same way. It's like you get there and you're like, I actually have to bring ink and paper into this. Ugh. Oh my! You look at it and you're just like, this is either just so stupid or so honestly messed up. Because inside a prison, inside a jail, it happens the same way. You either get something at a 1 or you can get all the way up to an 11. So, yeah. You know,
I mean,
I'm gonna give Dead Dude a 5.
you got to give him a 5. He killed somebody. I mean, that's just all there is to it.
Right. Karma gets a -0.
So, Buck, we got a story here that isn't going to be found anywhere in the press. It's I don't want to say it's an exclusive, but it is definitely limited as to who knows about it. This has been provided to us by a friend of the show, Guido Finelli.
Oh yeah, man, Guido Finelli.
For those of you that are not aware, this is one of our favorite topics on the show. Guido runs a website called Rent-A-Hitman.com. And he gets contact from people trying to hire hitmen, and he works with local law enforcement to make sure that people don't actually succeed in hiring an assassin, and turns everything over. And so many people have been prosecuted from contacting him, and some people have gotten help that they've needed. He's actually pretty good about that as well. But here's what he provided. There is never a dull moment at the Rent-A-Hitman headquarters. Recently, the website received a service request form submitted by a disgruntled female somewhere in the Midwest. For the sake of this post, we'll just call her Charlene. Charlene was adamant about having another woman murdered and burned for reasons for which I'm not exactly clear. However, there may have been something to do with stalking a failed threesome in an Airbnb unit. First, Charlene was very secretive about providing her alleged target's name, address, and rightfully so. You never know who you can trust online anymore. Over the next several days, Charlene raged on and sent a dozen more emails from her T-Mobile device and provided all of the information for her target. She was clearly upset and felt that having a hitman commit murder and burn the body was the best course of action. It did take a few days to extract all the information needed from Charlene, but once it was verified, it was time to submit the information to one of our 17,985 U.S.-based operatives to execute Charlene's heinous plan. In case you're unaware, I'm pretty sure that is the number of law enforcement agencies in the United States, but I'm not positive. Charlene was willing to expedite her service request. She even tried to set up a meeting location with the field operative to facilitate her request. She was adamant about receiving her free consultation. After sourcing the job out, I can say without a doubt she won't be disappointed with our service because we hooked her up with one of our best field operatives. After all, providing excellent customer service, and most importantly, we aim to please. So, it obviously hasn't been prosecuted yet, so he can't give us more details publicly. But I absolutely love Guido's. I love the stories we get from Guido. If you look at this website for any length of time, it's obviously satire. It's obviously satire. But people, again, like I said at the beginning of the show, when we talk about scam phone calls and emails.
Oh, yeah, man.
The dumbest people are the ones that are going to do it.
There really is a sucker born every single day. You know, first off, I want to personally thank Guido for submitting that. I mean, you know, he's probably one of our best freaking assets, man, you know, for material and content.
I mean, other than Tampa, it's Guido Finelli and the Tampa Free Press. I mean, those are right there. That's the crux of the show.
Like, somebody should get a fruit basket. I think we ought to send it an edible arrangement. Like, nothing says thank you like pineapple on a stick. But no,
nothing says. I want that on a T-shirt. So now we have 2 T-shirts we're gonna make. We're gonna make nothing says thank you like pineapple on a stick, and a shark's gonna shark.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I think we make more on merch than we would on listens. I really do, but
definitely true.
But No, man, Guido just he doesn't disappoint, man. Thank you so much for that, man, because I there's just a lot to unpack there in such a little bit in such a little article. Like the best field operative, the best.
Oh,
Like, and he's
but also,
now for anybody, just letting everybody know here, there are international operatives as well. There are, and this is clearly depicted on the website. So for those who have a nefarious stripe in their day, oh, don't hesitate to reach out to the good folks at Rent-A-Hitman. They'll take good care of you. Good care.
I mean, in all seriousness, you know how many lives this man has probably saved? In seriously, every time he's turned one of these in, these are people legitimately tried to hire someone to kill another human being. These aren't just like people joking. These are like honest to God people that have attempted to have a murder committed, and he's stopped how many at this point? I mean, dozens upon dozens. So I mean, dude's doing a great public service.
You know, for a second I thought you were looking for a real number from me, and I was trying like hell. I was like, how do I give you a real number without being an idiot, over flattering, or completely like just really tanking Guido, who's been so great to us. So I'm glad you didn't expect like a realistic figure there, because I can tell you it was only going to be like maybe 3 or 4 digits.
All right, folks. Well, we're gonna give
What are
her.
we going to score, Charlene?
We got to give Charlene at least a. Well, I got to give her 5. She tried to kill a human being. Let's just go with that.
I'm fine with that.
Good. That being said, folks, that's going to bring us to the end of another episode of the Social Liability Podcast. If you like what you hear, make sure you subscribe, make sure you tell a friend, and make sure you check out our YouTube channel. If you just search for Social Liability Podcast, I'm sure you'll find us. That being said, folks, I'm the Razgrease. He's the Buck Grundle. We'll see you on the next episode of the Social Liability Podcast.